Ed Cunningham is a former college football champion turned NFL star turned ESPN reporter who also produces buzzworthy documentaries on the side. I'm excited to catch up with him today and find out how he became the first ever Oscar-winning football analyst. All right, Ed, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, so college football star, NFL star.
I don't know about star.
Okay,
yeah.
well, yeah, college, NFL, then ESPN. Yeah. What made you want to get into documentaries?
It was really the first thing I did right out of college. I was lucky enough to play on a team that won the national championship, and I'd studied in business school an entrepreneurial class of how to kind of start a business, and I needed to pay my rent. So I literally, the first thing I produced was a video about how we won the national championship my senior year, and I literally sold it door to door and paid for that in a bartending job, paid my rent until I was paid in the NFL. But then as I got into the NFL and got more into the broadcasting stuff, I started realizing that I'd kind of done that. So I came back to it by accident. Through broadcasting, I got back into producing.
Now, tell me about your new doc, Finders Keepers.
It is about two guys, one of whom loses his leg in a tragic plane accident where his father dies, and then he falls on hard times. There are some drug and alcohol issues, but he ends up literally living in a van behind a house in South Carolina. And this other guy, who's kind of a southern entrepreneur picker, goes to these different types of auctions and buys things. And he bought lot number 54, which was just a shed full of stuff. Not a reality show, this just happened. Yeah. And when he got back, there was a smoker grill inside, and we opened it up, was a severed human leg. What was nice was it was an urban legend that we got to witness firsthand and from behind the scenes. We got to see these people deal with this fame and celebrity and also legally fight over who owned the leg.
Oh my God.
Because it was sold legally to one gentleman, yet it used to be attached to the body of the other guy. And so what we're going to do is we're asking the Kickstarter community to come help us do finished production. We do have one more thing to shoot with one of the main guys, a very kind of big part of the ending of his journey with this leg. Literally, it's part of the ending of the journey with the leg that we have to film. And then we'll be in post-production with this funding that gets us to basically a rough cut of the film.
How'd you wind up being a part of Undefeated, producing that?
You know, I'd never, in my life, I'd always kind of kept football and what I do at ESPN separate from storytelling, but they really have come together recently, and the biggest example was Undefeated. Seth Gordon, another guy, again, bringing up Seth's name, a guy I work with a lot, he called me and he said, there's these young filmmakers and they want to move to Memphis for 8 months, and they want us to help them see if it's worth doing this. They found this story. So we met with Dan Lindsay and TJ Martin and Rich Middlemiss, the producers, and we really kind of became kind of grandfathers and helped them realize what they, from the very first day, knew what they wanted to do, and then it became our job to make sure to protect it.
So now, how did Diddy become a part of this Undefeated project?
You know, we were just doing our regular outreach to get people to talk about the film, and this was way early. This was before people knew the film was going to be released and who the partners were. And Diddy got a copy of the film and just immediately picked up the phone and said, literally, what can I do? What can I do to make sure people get out to see this? What can I do? No, he called me.
Okay.
Yeah, he called the Weinstein Company, who was the company that had distributed the film.
College football champion, analyst. You're the first type of person like this to win an Academy Award.
I don't know.
How'd that make you feel? I mean, you're sitting on top of the world here.
I have to say, the moment that our film was called, and it was cool. I mean, the people that were on stage were big stars, and we made a big deal out of the presentation of our award. I still don't remember hearing it. When they called Undefeated, I had a momentary blackout, and but next thing I know, we're all running to the stage, and somebody almost ran over Robert Downey Jr.
Tell me how you got involved in the project King of Kong. Because this is a crazy story if you don't know.
So, a little context. In the King of Kong, there is a guy going for the world record in Donkey Kong who doesn't know that this world exists called Twin Galaxies that verifies these records. His name's Steve Wiebe. And during the film, and part of the reason we were attracted to the story was after he had submitted his world record and gotten publicity for it, he had a knock on his door saying, we need to verify this score. And they actually took apart his machine. They took pictures of the computer board, and they suspected foul play. And I just happened, through a friend that knew I would like the story, met Steve 4 days after those guys showed up at his house to say, there's a question about your board.
Okay.
And so I immediately went to Seth Gordon, who became a great partner on the film, and I told him the story, and then he had a great personal connection that he used to game at Fun Spot in New Hampshire as a kid, where they go, where this Twin Galaxies goes for their yearly event. And it was pretty, I think there was some fate involved in hearing that one.
Did you ever get into Donkey Kong yourself?
We had a tournament, and of the 4 main guys who work on it, I finished dead last.
Dead last, so you're no good.
Terrible.
All right, perfect. Ed, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, make sure you watch this show every single day, yoshow.yahoo.com, and check me out on TV tonight on OMG Insider. We'll see you next time. Later.